introducing is Amin Omar, and the last name is Sharif, Sharief. It's an initial appearance on a misdemeanor domestic violence. Oh, okay, sorry. I'll just. We're seeking, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
For the court's understanding.
Let me call the case real quick. All right, this is 2021 MM779580. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Amin Sharif, sir.
All right. And Mr. Sharif, you're here in case 2021 MM779580 on charge of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit in your case. It did find probable cause for your arrest as to this matter. Counsel, put your name on the record one more time.
State my name?
Yes,
my name is Chris S. Boatwright.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning. My name is Safira Sharif, Sharie, F as in Frank, F as in Frank.
And can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You put your hand down, ma'am. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Sharif?
He is my husband.
And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Has there been previous instances of domestic violence between you all in the past?
None whatsoever.
And did drugs or alcohol play a role in this particular instance?
None whatsoever.
State, do you have any questions for this witness?
Just one, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you live together?
We do not.
Okay. That was the only question I had, Your Honor.
And counsel, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, just for the court's understanding, Mr. Sharif lives in Illinois and they live in Kentucky. So they're here on vacation.
Well, saying Delos, I'm guessing.
Portofino, yeah.
This a universal or?
Unfortunately, he won't be going back there, but we've arranged a hotel for him to be in. They could get that issue resolved. Obviously, we'd ask that he be allowed to return to Illinois.
Well, that's fine. I'm trying to. Do you want to advocate for anything other than no contact, or?
We're fine with the maintained separate residence. Our issue is just the contact issue with the wife and the child. I think a bond would be better than pretrial release since he lives out of state, but obviously I'd defer to the court on that.
Is there a pending divorce happening, or is this a separation?
Yes, there's a pending divorce happening, correct.
All right. Where, in Illinois or in Kentucky?
Illinois.
Illinois. There has been any temporary time-sharing plans put in place?
Our daughter lives with me.
I know, but has there been, did the court in its preliminary orders order time sharing, or did they just give you sole custody of the child?
Our petition is imminent. I'll be filing on Monday.
Okay, so it hasn't.
Sounds like they're not.
Okay, so it hasn't.
Process, right?
Okay. All right, so I'll do this. Since there isn't, I don't want to cause massive confusion amongst our jurisdictions. All right, sir, I want to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. Condition of your bond, you be subject. Condition of your bond, you have to have no hostile contact with your wife. No hostile contact means this: you're allowed to have disagreements with her. There are going to be disagreements that will come up during the course of your divorce proceeding. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot become threatening. You cannot use any abusive language towards her, because no matter whether she calls law enforcement or somebody that sees or hears you all arguing and calls law enforcement, you will be arrested for violating my orders. They'll put you on a small little bus and ship you from Illinois back to Orlando, or you'll be held on no bond status until this court proceeding is completed. You also may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You have counsel representing you. I suggest you lean on his representations and experience in these matters. You have a great day, sir.
Thank you, Judge. May he have contact with the child?
Yeah, I have no. My order. I have no jurisdiction over that. Other than I would say no contact with. I would say no contact with the family. But obviously, there's going to be an order if you file a divorce. Somebody's going to put forward a temporary time sharing, alimony,
Right. Nothing
all
to
those
do
kind
with
of
the
things
divorce.
that go along. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. That's why I didn't want to confuse those orders because
Sure, I
they may
understand.
give her sole custody, and then
Right.
that won't be an issue at that point.
Your order is no hostile contact with the wife
Right.
and any contact with the child.
Yeah, he can have contact with the child.
Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
Right.
All right. Have a great day.
Right. Thank you, Judge. Go ahead. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter. I have been previously sworn.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Barrera. This is Judge Bain calling for the BRC. If you can see, we can make a connection with my podium. Cover your face, sir, please.
Certainly, Your Honor. Por favor, tápese la cara con la mascarilla, señor.
Yeah, you got it. You're on the overhead still.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he could hear what that you were asking him to cover his face.
You got it.
Okay, I'm connecting now, Judge. I'll let you know when he can hear.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Jacinto Pérez Quiñones.
Jacinto Pérez Quiñones.
Mr. Perez Quiones, you're here in case 2021 CF 136860 on charge of burglary of a dwelling with a solid battery therein, domestic violence, child abuse, violation of a domestic violence injunction, or DV.
My apologies, Your Honor, for interrupting. If you could kindly recite those charges for me
Yes,
one
sir.
more time.
He's here in 2021 CF 13686. First count one of your warrant affidavit is burglary of a dwelling with assault, a battery therein, domestic violence. Count two is child abuse. Those headphones turned up.
Sí, yo escucho por un solo lado.
I can only hear on one side.
Okay, let me just do a sound check one time.
Bien bajito, lo escucho bien.
I can hear you very low.
All right, we're gonna try to switch the headsets, Mr. Burr. Give us a second.
Certainly, Your Honor.
My friend by herself the other day. Wow.
Before the court at this time for an arraignment for an alleged violation of probation in this case. An attorney with the public defender's office is present online to enter a plea on your behalf, and then the clerk will announce your next court dates. On to trial. Thank you, sir. That's all we have today. Everyone raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Put your hand down. Please state your full name and your date of birth. Thank you. You're before the court today for an arraignment for an alleged violation of probation in this case. An attorney with the public defender's office is
All right, let's try this one more time.
Sí, ahora sí. Sí, ahora sí.
Yes, now I can hear you.
All right, good morning, sir. You're here in case 2021 CF 136860. You have a warrant signed by a judge finding probable cause for the charges of burglary of a dwelling with assault, battery therein, domestic violence, child abuse, 2 counts of violation of a domestic violence injunction, and criminal mischief. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. State, do you have any? What do you ask me to do? What do you ask me to do as to count 1?
Count 1 is punishable by life. I would ask defendant be held no bond.
And Ms. George, you have a response to the state's request.
No, Your Honor, we reserve the right to have an Arthur hearing.
All right, sir. As a count 1, going to hold you at no bond. Count 2, 5,000. Count 3, 5,000. Count 4, 5,000. Count 5, going to stay at $100. Condition of your bond that you have no contact with this victim or this victim's family. That you abide by the injunction in 2020 DR 11756. And you now return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. Do you have any questions about your injunction or about the no contact order?
Sí.
Yes.
A question, do you not understand what the order tells you to do? Is there something on the order that you not understand you're supposed to be doing?
Que estoy un poco como perdido, en verdad, porque es que no, yo rompí la orden porque fue ella quien me llamó todo el tiempo que me buscaba.
Well, I'm really lost as to all of this because the only reason I violated the order is because she kept asking me to come over all the time. She's the one that was contacting me.
All right. Well, the orders are one-way streets. So no matter what she does, is on you, apparently, to you to comply with the orders of the court. She can tell you that her foot got cut off and she's running around hobbling one foot. You know, you tell her you don't answer the phone. She can text you that. You may call 911 for her, but you're not allowed to have no contact with her. Do you understand?
Okay, sí, perfecto.
Okay, yes, perfect.
Have a great day, sir.
Your Honor, the interpreter can confirm the defendant is able to hear through the headsets.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Jasmine Roman. Roman.
Yasmin Roman.
Mr. Roman is a Alvarez Roman?
No, Roman Alvarez.
Okay.
No, Roman Alvarez.
Ms. Roman Alvarez, you're here in case 2021 MM 7804AL on a charge of battery domestic violence. I reviewed the charging affidavit in this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in amount of $100. It's going to cover pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from the victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at the residence. You do not possess any weapons or firearms, and weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order, ma'am?
¿Hasta cuándo no puedo tener tu contacto?
For how long am I not allowed to have contact?
You can talk with your attorney from the public defender's office to get you in front of Judge Wayne Shoemaker. You can set a hearing where he can hear from you and your son, and he can modify those conditions. But until then, they have no contact. Now, if you decide that your son is an adult now and he can go and find his own place to live, you can go home. All right.
Okay.
Have a great day.
You are.
Same.
All right, Mr. Brad, I think that was my last case, but if you can check in the gallery, I only see one person, but just make sure nobody needs your assistance.
Certainly, Your Honor. Su atención, por favor. Si hay alguien en el público que necesite los servicios del intérprete, por favor, alce la mano en este momento.
I don't see anybody. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Rare.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good morning.
You too. All right. Did she refuse yesterday too? Or he refused yesterday as well? It says refused. All right. I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent Mr. Donnell.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
Nice. Supposed to be here in 2021, MO 1266AO. I'm going to set his bond. Did find probable cause, set his bond $100. Out on bond in the trespass case 2021 MM 6084AO. Going to revoke that bond to RR, set bond amount of $100. No return to the scene location. No contact with any victims or witnesses. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name? Say again?
Cameron.
What's your full name? Sir, you're here in case 2021 CF 1434AO on charge of tampering with a witness, hinder communication to law enforcement, and battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Mr. Youngblood, he doesn't qualify.
It looks like that they attempted to make contact. Recently moved here to Orlando from New York, and they were unable to investigate his community ties, so they did not qualify, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Willis, you're going to set your bond in count one, amount of $1,000, count two, $100. Condition of your bond, you have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at a shared residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations of your no contact order? Until a judge tells you that it doesn't.
I was to go back to New York.
Say again?
If I was to go back to New York, how would that work?
What do you mean?
Like if I was to go back to New York.
As long as you don't miss any court dates here, you can go wherever you want to go. You can't leave the country, but I mean, but you can go with anywhere in the continuous United States.
Still have court dates here?
Say again?
Still have court dates here?
All right. Honestly. All right, say it again.
I'm still have court dates in Florida.
Yeah, if they file on this case, then you'll have court dates here. You have a public defender. You make sure you keep in contact with them. Make sure your mailing address is updated. I don't know why this is redacted, but does he have a New York mailing address? If you want to move back to New York, you're going to file a change of address as well.
I would have to change my address.
Right now, they have you at this Kirkman apartment, on this apartment on Kirkman Road. So if you want to move back to New York, you got to file on this change of address with the court. It's a form up here. You know, where are you going? Are you planning? You know you're going back to New York, or are you just thinking about going?
No, I'm going back.
You going back? You know where you're going to be living? All right. All right, put your address on the record. Mr. Blitcher. Where are you going to be living? Put your address on the record.
107-14 Sutter Avenue, South Ozone Park.
All right. All right, have a great day, sir. All right, it's 2021 CF 12720 AO and 2021 MM 7812 AO. One point to public defender represent Mr. Bowens.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, in the 2021 CF 12720 AO, we're going to court, the judge signed a warrant in that case, found probable cause for his arrest on a charge of battery with 2 prior batteries. Going to set his bond in that case in the amount of $2,500. Condition on his bond: had no contact with the victim, not returned to the scene of the location, may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. In 2021 MM 7812 AO, they find probable cause after reviewing the charge of affidavit for battery, dating violence. Going to set bond in that case amount of $1,500. Condition of the bond: that he had no contact with the victim, maintain a separate residence, give him one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items, may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. I'm going to already appointed the public defender to represent him in both cases. It's 2021 CF 14344 AO. Mr. Broomfield, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him in this case.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Camille Francis, Francis.
Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this matter is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down. Ma'am, can you tell me how you know Mr. Broomfield?
I met him in 2014 in Jamaica online, and then we went back and forth. I traveled back and forth to Jamaica.
All right. Are you guys dating, living together?
We are married. We got married on June the 12th, 2018.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Not at this moment.
All right. In Mr. Broomfield's case, in count One, I'm going to set bond amount of $1,500. Count two, $500. Subject to pretrial release supervision. No contact with the victim in this case. Maintain a separate residence from the victim. You'll give him one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have that he has at that location.
Okay.
May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. All right.
Okay.
Have a great day, man.
Thank you.
Morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
My name is Richard Miller.
Mr. Miller, you're here in case 2021 CF 14340 AO on a charge of battery on a person 65 years or older or battery domestic violence. Review the charging affidavit, did find probable cause for your arrest. Let's set your bond in count one in the amount of $1,000, count two, $500, condition your bond. That you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release.
Within 24 hours?
Yep, any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I want to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
No, I don't. But may I ask you?
I'm going to have you talk to your attorney because everything you talk to me about is on the record. It can be used
Okay,
against you.
I've been doing a documentary. I haven't gotten paid for it. I've worked on it for 9 months. What's going on in this country? I haven't been able to work. The only thing I've been doing is plasma to live because I don't steal or do anything else. So I'm asking the judge if he can release me on my own conscience. I haven't done any crimes prior to this. I haven't been in no trouble.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen you in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I haven't been in no trouble.
I mean, I pretty much set your bonds about as low as I can do on a standard felony case. I mean, that's count two. I can set your bond at $100. I mean, I can do that. Count two, I'll set bond at $100.
If you can let me pay the courts back within 2 weeks, I can do that.
You can work with a bondsman. They can work out a deal with you. That's a private contract between you and the bondsman that you're going to be speaking with. You can also talk to your public defender. Maybe you can get in front of your judge, and that judge will maybe have a different perspective than I do.
See, because I got video that shows that I didn't do nothing wrong. I got the video.
That's fine. That sounds like a great defense, sir. You have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Robert Spencer, sir.
Mr. Spencer, you're here in case 2021 CF 13676 on a charge of shooting or throwing a missile into a dwelling or structure, battery, domestic violence, criminal mischief, and violation of a domestic violence injunction. The judge signing your warrant in this case has already found probable cause for your arrest. 1 second here. Let's set your bond in count one in amount of $8,000, count two, $500, count three, $100, and count four, $100. Condition of your bonds, you had no contact with the victim in this case. You need to not return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons and firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You're out on bond in case 2021 CF 8225 AO. Court find probable cause that you committed a new law offense while you're out on bond. In that case, is going to revoke that bond. You'll set a new bond at $0 in that matter. You're also out on bond in case 2021 CF 13021. Sorry, 12 AO. Well, I need to look at that case again.
Your Honor, I was in court.
I haven't filed on that case yet, but hold on.
Your Honor, I was in court for I was in court and they had gave me a attempt to court yesterday. Today they had gave me a attempt to court failure of appeal, but I was at the courthouse when I had got arrested.
Well, that's I don't know about that.
I just had got it today. I just wanted to make a statement on that now. That I was in court and I got arrested in court at the courthouse, Orange County Courthouse, sir.
Yeah, I think you got arrested for this positive drug test in the case I'm about to revoke your bond on, 2021 CF 13012 AO. Not sure the judge signed the warrant. That's what I was looking at. But you have from the correspondence in that court file as well as probable cause committed new law offenses violated those pretrial release orders in those cases. So the court's going to revoke the bond in those cases, set bond at $0 in that case as well. In the 2021 CF 8225 AO, no contact with the victim. The bond I revoked in that case, but still going to was no contact. All right, have a great day, sir. All right, good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Good morning, Jennifer Alexander.
Ms. Alexander, you're here in case 2021 MM7810 AO on charge of battery domestic violence. Did review the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case in amount of $1,500. Condition of your bond, you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
I have a 5-year-old, and that's my house also. I'm going to have to rip her out of school and everything. I've lived there since 1995.
Okay.
It's the only house my 5-year-old has ever known. I don't have anywhere to take her to. This is our house. I've been there since 1995.
Okay. But right now, do you understand my orders, though?
Yeah, so
I mean, I'm just
baby.
like to say it like this. My orders are going to be in place. Now, if you choose not to comply with my orders, then, that's just going to be something you're going to have to deal with me about. But, that's choices you're going to have to make
I'm going to
in your
comply
life.
with you. I'm just asking you to consider my daughter and not ruining her schooling. She just started kindergarten 2 months ago.
She can still go to school?
I'm not going to be able
Nobody
to
told
stay
you you couldn't
anywhere
go to
near her. I
school,
won't
that
be
she
able to
couldn't
get her
continue her schooling. You got to take her out of school. You're going well beyond.
over. I got hit. Another court date?
You got to get a court date with Judge Shoemaker.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Adam Bradley. Good morning.
Mr. Bradley, here in case 2021 MM730AW on charge of battery domestic violence. The judge signing a warrant in that case found probable cause for your arrest. You also been arrested in 2021 CT7328AO as well as 2021 MM7814AO. They reviewed the charging affidavit in those two cases did find probable cause for your arrest. State, do you want to resolve those two misdemeanor cases?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir. In 2021 CT7328AO, we're going to stay your bond to $500, right? Stay your bond at $500. Additionally, your bond cannot operate a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. In 2021 MM7814AO, we're going to stay your bond in that case about $500. In 2021, MM730AW, going to set your bond in that case in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no contact with the victim in that case. You are to maintain a separate residence from that victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be shown to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, sir.
Can I have a question? Ask a question?
Well, there's a question about the stipulations, my orders.
It's about like
a question about the facts of the case. You talk to your attorney.
I don't know what it's related. I don't know if it's about whatever. It's like
yes. Yeah, I have been up to here. Advantages of being at the courthouse first. I have dated access already.
Oh, no, I'm finna just head off.
All right, it's 2021 MM7815AO. Mr. Burgos Diaz, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent him.
I'll waive the appearance, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Burgos Diaz. All right, they reviewed the charging affidavit. In his case, did find probable cause for his arrest, the charges of battery, domestic violence, and resisting officer without violence. I set bond in count 1 in the amount of $500. Count 2, $100. Condition of the bond be subject to pretrial release supervision. He had no contact with any victims in this case. He must maintain a separate residence from the victim. Give him one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items he has at that location. May not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms he has needs to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of his release. Then I want to appoint the public defender to represent. Already appointed the public defender to represent him.
One moment, y'all.
Yep. Door open or is it closed? Come on, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Luis Anthony Cuero.
Mr. Carrero, you are here in case 2021 MM7808AO on charge of battery, dating violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I have a disability. EMILYHICTS. It's Emily. It's.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're giving this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you put your hand down, man. Can you tell me how you know Miss Curio?
We've been friends. We've been like friends. We hang out sometimes.
All right, and do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
I don't know what happened. All I know is last night I told him a couple times to get out of my house. I don't want to fight. I don't want to say too much, but I don't want to get him in trouble. But he got stuff at my house, and I needed his stuff out. But I.
Oh, so you gotta slow down. So what happened at your house now?
Okay, so I guess last night it got out.
All right, you gotta stay in front of the microphone.
Okay, it got out of hand.
Okay.
And it got violently.
Okay. All right. I need you to move a little bit close over to your left. There you go. There it is. All right. So the question is, do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending? That was the question.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I like right now. I'm kind of like all over the place, but they didn't let me have my book. all my reading things that I need. That I have a disability. They didn't let me have my book with me or nothing. So like I didn't like top in to like really speak on my behalf right now.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Did drugs and alcohol play a role like during this?
Recently, no. I have a disability. I have cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And then I also have mental illness. I have
Well, I'm talking about on Mr. Curio's behalf. Was he using drugs or alcohol like last night?
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Say you got questions for the witness?
Hello. Has something like this happened before?
No. Like we've been good. I know how to talk to police on him before. But he scared me last night and I called the police and then I got number telling me on my phone today telling me that he's in jail. Like I literally woke up. When I told the police last night, I thought I was so sick out of my mind last night that I literally thought that he went outside and the police took him outside and he left my house. And I thought it was okay. And then I got phone calls telling me today that it's not okay and that he's suffering. I want to help him. Like I'm willing to help him. Like
Okay, I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Curry, I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you in this case. Ms. George, you have any questions for the witness?
I do not, Your Honor. However, I would ask that you consider the facts in this case that they were on allegedly on drugs at the time of the incident, and not revoke and hold him at no bond on his out on bond case, Your Honor.
Well, there's
what do you do me honor? Why is he being charged with all of this?
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, say it again.
Why is he being like charged with a lot?
Charged with right now, he's being charged with the incident last night where you told me that you got out of hand and it got physical.
Yeah, it did.
Looking at the affidavit, looks like you told law enforcement that you've had previous incidents with him being physical. I'm looking at a phase sheet that lists 3 prior felonies, 11 misdemeanors, 2 prior failures to appear. His last conviction was early this year for another drug-related charge.
No, they're not me. They're not.
Out on bond. He's out on bond for another case.
Whoa.
That for which he now what came in looks like a misdemeanor petty theft, and now he's being charged with a felony petty theft.
Okay, well, you know what? I didn't deal with that.
All right. Well,
give
me a second, ma'am. Let me finish what I have to do on the record, because the court, we have somebody that's downtown listening to us, trying to keep up with what we're saying.
Yes.
And they can't do that if both people are talking at the same time.
That's right.
All right. So, Mr. Currio, in this case, I'm going to set your bond amount of $1,500. You're going to condition you got no contact with the victim in this case. You do not return to the scene of the location where this incident occurred. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be returned to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. You're out on bond in case 2021 CF 7770AO. The case I was referring to that it was upgraded from a misdemeanor to a felony. In that case, the court found a probable cause you commit a new law offense while you're out on bond. In that case, the court's going to revoke that bond, set a new bond at $0. I'm going to have you speak to Ms. George, who's appointed to be your attorney in either both of your cases. And she can answer your question for you, because I don't want you to say anything on the record that's going to get you in trouble.
Your Honor, again, I would ask that you reconsider the petty theft. In that arrest affidavit, it does state that he was homeless and he was in Walmart taking food. So I just ask that you consider that. Again, the conflicting stories. Could you just give me a second? He is recently currently working. He will lose his job if he has to sit in here on a no bond status. Based on his record, it does not appear he has a violent history.
Yeah, he doesn't.
It's mostly drugs, Your Honor. So I just ask that you take all of that into consideration.
Well, it seems that his addiction has led him to.
Damn it.
He has out-of-state convictions for assault. He has out-of-state convictions for some more drugs. Since he's been in Florida, he's had several drug-related charges. The theft, I'm quite sure, was also drug-related. And then he also now was using, apparently, according to the affidavit, and he was using drugs last night, was then got into an argument or a physical altercation with Miss Emily here, and which led him to being arrested here with us today. So I'm not sure what the pattern of behavior that's going to allow me to do what the law tells me to do, and considering all the things that the law considers me to do, and letting him out.
Can I ask a something?
No, ma'am. All right, you have a great day, ma'am. You can talk to the state attorney about your victim advocate about what's going on with this case.
Okay.
Our hearing today is done. Okay.
Okay, I want to help. Okay.
All right. Have a great day. All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Acorn Desir.
Mr. Desir, you're here in case 2021 MM7790AO on charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500. Condition on your bond that you have no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. Give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You're out on bond in case 2021 CF 12173AO. The court finding probable cause to commit a new law offense while you're out on bond in that case is going to revoke that bond. Set bond at $0 in that matter.
Your
Have a
Honor,
great day, sir.
I would also ask that you consider doubling his out on bond. He does not have a large criminal history, and in the facts in this case, the victim admitted to pushing him first, and then somehow they began to wrestle. There's conflicting statements. He stated they were wrestling for a phone. I just ask that you take all of that into consideration and consider doubling the bond amount as opposed to holding him at no bond. He has 0 failures to appear, only 1 felony conviction on his record.
And the prior felony was for?
The burglary of a structure in 2019, Your Honor.
And he's charged with another burglary here in 2021. The affidavit alleged that he approached her.
Correct. They were
and
arguing.
Then, what most people do, just create space between her and somebody else. So I don't know if that's
Correct, Your Honor. Based on the facts of this case, I would just ask that you consider revoking and doubling. He approached, she pushed him, and my client is stating that they were wrestling for a phone. She stated they were wrestling. After that,
all right.
and Your Honor, I just would ask that you give him a chance, given that he's only 19 years old.
All right. I reviewed the charging affidavit based on the facts contained therein, not finding a lot of credence into the story which he is giving. It wasn't a 911 hang-up. It was all 911. And Mrs. Zira is 19 years old. This is a juvenile case, this burglary case. This is not an adult case, right? I see, it says his last conviction, but his last conviction was burglary for a burglary of a structure. Then he's arrested.
Yeah, it was
A year after he
Should state juvenile, Your Honor. It doesn't for the last conviction, but it is.
These prior DV cases are related to somebody like his mom or something like that. All juvenile cases.
I don't have it stated here. I could look in the state.
I'm just figuring. I'm just going to guess. So
There were 3 previous instances, Your Honor. 2, or at least 1, was Derica Lambert in 2020, but earlier this year in June, it is the same victim.
All right. So, Mr. Nazir, you have to turn the age of 18 years old, decided to continue on with this, whatever he's doing. I'm not sure what you want to call it. Still has a problem with relationships with women, still committing property crimes, and is on a path to giving his life to the state of Florida. So, Mr. Nazir could decide to do that. He decided to seek some help because he's an adult now, and he's going to be fully responsible for everything you do from now on. There's no juvenile camps. There's no programs. They're going to send you to prison. And they know exactly how much it's going to cost to keep you there for the rest of your life. So you can keep on keeping on, but it's up to you. But right now, you're going to be held at Orange County Jail because you keep on with the same patterns, and I can't trust you to be outside. All right, so have a great day. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name, please?
Michelle Flanagan.
Ms. Flanagan, you're here in case 2021 MM7807AO on charge of battery dating violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit in your case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Going to set your bond in this case amount of $1,500, condition of your bond that you had no contact with the victim in this case. You need to maintain a separate residence from this victim. If you have anything at a shared residence, I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You also may not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're subject to random drug and alcohol testing at your expense. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. You have a great day, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning, first name Clayton, last name Griffin.
All right, Mr. Griffin, you're here in case 2021 MM7800AO on a charge of battery dating violence. I did review the charging affidavit in your case. I did find probable cause for your arrest. I'm going to set your bond in this case amount of $250. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to retrieve any personal items you have at that location. You may not possess any weapons or firearms. Any weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. And I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. Do you have any questions about the stipulations on your no contact order?
Yes, sir. Can I talk?
The PD is over here, but you have questions about what the order says?
Yeah, well, the thing
All right,
is,
talk to her real quick.
Your Honor, she is actually his supervisor at work.
Do you have to work the same shift?
Yes, Your Honor, they work different shifts.
All right, as long as you guys are working different shifts, talk to your GM. Make sure you guys are working different shifts. All right, ready, sir? Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Leo Santiago.
Mr. Santiago, you're here in case 2021 MM 7805 AO on a charge of battery domestic violence. They reviewed the charging affidavit. In this case, did find probable cause for your arrest. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name and spell your last name?
Good morning, Lindsay Cabrera, Cabrera.
All right. Can you raise your right hand and be sworn in?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Like, put your hand down, ma'am. Ma'am, you're here in case. Can you tell me how you know Mr. Santiago?
18 years.
What? Like your boyfriend, husband?
Yeah, we've never married, but we share 4 children together.
All right. And do you want to have contact with him while this case is pending?
Absolutely.
I see a prior domestic battery in this case. I see a different victim. But when was that?
2013.
2013.
And if I could speak on that?
No, I had to make sure that you were aware of that, or were you aware of that prior domestic battery history?
Yeah.
All right. And have there's been a history of domestic violence between you all in the past?
No. It's been a recent thing where I've kind of been trying to separate, and we've both been drinking a lot more. So that's where I feel is responsible for that. It's alcohol involved here.
Not sure. I mean, you're responsible for your drinking, but I mean, like whatever he's doing.
Yeah, we were both drinking.
But that's he makes his own choices about whatever he's going to do. All right, State, do you have any questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
And I'm going to appoint a public defender to represent you, Mr. Santiago. Ms. George, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Does anybody want to advocate for anything other than no contact?
Based on the testimony here today, Your Honor, I would advocate for no hostile contact order. Since he's going to be placed on pretrial release, Your Honor, and he's going to be subject to random drug screens, I believe that once the alcohol is removed, that they'll be able to.
Right.
Get along.
And these out of the state cases were how long these were ago?
In New York?
Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah, I think there were some from more than 10 years ago out in New York.
All right, Mr. Santiago, I'm going to set your bond in this case in the amount of $500. It's going to come with pretrial release supervision. You to have no hostile contact with your girlfriend. No hostile contact means this. You are allowed to have disagreements. You say you have 4 kids, correct?
Yes.
All right, so there are things going to come up when dealing with 4 children inside of a house between 2 people that are the parents of those children. However, those disagreements cannot turn violent. They cannot become threatening. You cannot use any abusive language towards her. Because no matter whether she calls law enforcement, or whether her parents or one of these children call law enforcement, you will be arrested. You'll spend the remaining time here with me at the Orange County Jail for violating my court orders. Do you understand that?
Sir.
You may not possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You be subject to random drug and alcohol testing through pretrial release in this case. You also may not possess any weapons or firearms. The weapons or firearms you have need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. All right. All right. Have a great day, sir.
Excuse me.
Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Joseph Bear.
Mr. Bear, you're here in case 2021 CT 3677 from Brevard County. Judge signed a warrant in that case, set your bond at no bond for that case. Bonds remain at no bond. He's appointed public defender to represent you till I get you over to Brevard County. You have a great day, sir.
What was that?
I'm appointed public defender to represent you till I get you to Brevard County. Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Morning.
Okay.
Mr. Tukes.
Mr. Tukes, you're here. Oh, 1 second. Let's get it right. You're here for a Polk County case. Let me get a better case number. (2021) CT 44483BA for a failure to appear warrant. Judge in that case is going to set your bond in the amount of $500. Bonds remain as set in that case. So you can bond out or be sent to Polk County. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you till that happens. You have a great day, sir. You get the right case number on there? Is that the right case number? Because they put some other weird number on that. I don't know what the order says. That's the wrong case number. I don't know what that is. All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Clarence Dorson.
Say your name again?
Clarence Dorson.
What happens to Wilson? All right, Wilson bonded.
Wilson bonded, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Dorson, you're here in case 2020 CF 10189AO, as well as 2020 CF 7317AO for violations of probation. Judge signed your warrants in both cases, find probable cause to set your bond at no bond. Bonds remain at no bond. In this case, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you in both matters. You have a great day, sir.
Can I have a public defender?
Yep, I did.
Your Honor.
I'm saying, can I say something before I leave?
You should talk to your attorney before you start talking to me. Yes, sir.
Open case.
Yeah, no, I won't take it. I won't address it. I was waiting. All right, I'm not taking any action on this out on bond case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And it's Monday, the 8th. You'll see Judge Lattimore on the 8th.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Matthew Gutierrez.
Mr. Gutierrez, you're here in case 2020 CF 5316AO on a violation of probation. Judge signed your warrant in this case, set your bond at no bond. Your bonds can remain at no bond in this case. I want to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. You have a great day, sir. Yeah, but it's a domestic violence case, so I don't know why they do this because the victim has to be notified. So unless they notified the victim as well, which I know he may be here, so we'll see. Might be him. Well, she has a new open case as well, so I don't know if she wants to admit to this. Good morning, ma'am. Can you tell me your name?
Christina Barisi.
Ms.
Could I please
Barisi.
speak to my public defender?
Yeah, you can, but let me do my thing first and then tell you why you're here. You're here in case 2020 MM 593 AA and 2020 MM 562 AA for violations of probation. Judge signing a warrant in both cases set your bond at no bond. Your bonds can remain at no bond. Or you can have time to talk to your attorney on point of public defender to represent you in both matters. And I'm trying to figure out who's in my witness booth. All right, while you do that. Good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Brandon Palmer.
Say the last name again.
Brent Palmer, Palmer.
All right, Mr. Palmer. Not sure why you're here, but let's find out. Are you the victim in the underlying case?
Yes, for me, I had a traffic court yesterday, so I wasn't able to make the court, make it here to court. But today I wanted to, see if there's anything I could do to help her situation. We run 2 companies, and she has a 7-month-old daughter. We do, and
right now, probably not. You got to get in front of Judge Shoemaker. She has a hearing next Tuesday.
So she'll be here till next Tuesday at the very least.
Yep, she has a hearing next Tuesday in front of Judge Wayne Shoemaker. Let's see. Actually, this is a VOP arraignment. Actually, the 19th is the hearing in front of Judge Shoemaker. I want to see if you want to waive her, because nothing's going to happen in an arraignment unless.
No, I know it's not.
So you want to waive that and keep her set for the 19th.
Yes, Your Honor.
So she's going to sit till the 19th?
Yes, sir. Because
this is her first violation.
Yeah, but the violation looks like for a new law offense she was arrested for. If I remember reading the affidavit.
A battery, I believe.
Looks like that she picked up a new case.
And that was with me, and I told them that she never laid her hands on me. We're working on a house, and
she's behind. You guys run 2 companies. She's behind on her fees. She's not doing treatment. She has she's behind on community service.
She was dealing with postpartum depression, so she was in a facility.
I'm just telling you
some time.
What's going on with her. I can't resolve all that for her because I'm not the judge or not the division judge over that.
She was in a facility at the time.
Yeah.
For postpartum depression.
Okay. But it looks like somebody or nobody kept in contact with her PO during that time. So
I emailed her as soon as she was out, and she said she was already violated, that she would be contacted. She just received, the court date. She would have turned herself in if she needed to. She didn't need to turn herself in. She had to wait till the court date.
Yeah, there was a warrant. So I mean, there was no court date until she got arrested.
No, there was. She received something that said that she didn't have a warrant, but she had
she got notice to appear.
Was it an arraignment? Is that what it was then?
Looks like she had a notice to appear issued back on the 10th.
She was dealing with postpartum depression. She went to a facility and checked herself into a facility.
Right. So then, since they couldn't get in contact with her, they issued a warrant.
They never issued a warrant.
Sir, I'm looking at the warrant right now.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the warrant right now. That's what I'm telling you. I'm looking at the warrant right now.
Man, we were recently pulled over for traffic. Pulled over and they ran her name and they didn't take her to jail. Then I don't know why they wouldn't if she had a warrant.
It was just yesterday. It looks that way. So I don't know when this.
Oh yeah, I bonded her out yesterday. She was on her way out the door, and they literally picked her up on her way out the door.
Yeah. So that looks like what happened. I'm not sure.
The warrant in.
There's an open case going on. She resolved the case yesterday.
I think it's a battery, Your Honor.
Oh, the battery case from yesterday. Okay. All right. So she has an open battery case.
Mm-hmm.
A violation of.
I don't want to charge with that.
I'm not in control of that. You got to talk to the state of Florida about that. So you can talk to them about how to best deal with that situation.
That battery case be in there for?
Usually, you guys put it on there as an open case, but I mean, I'm not taking any action on your open case. But as the Judge Wayne Shoemaker, things we're going to do in your 2 cases today. Your attorney waives your appearance. Will enter a plea of a denial on your behalf for the 2 violations, so we don't have to see you again next week. You have a court date with Judge Shoemaker on the 19th of this month, so you hopefully maybe get in front of him before then. May not be too busy downtown during this time of year. The year's starting to wind down, so maybe to get into a better situation with him at that time. But you talk to your PO, keep in contact with your attorney, and we can we're moved on to the next court date. All right. You can talk to the state attorney, make sure they understand whatever your point of view of the case is, okay?